TikTok influencer Brooke George is facing the ultimate punishment in Dubai. This is a very fascinating story. We're going to talk about it today on The Legal Mindset, where we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. And this is fascinating to me as a person living abroad. When you live abroad, when you're a person who's in another country, you're facing often a set of rules, a set of consequences that you may not understand fully. You may not know the local laws. And this is a situation in which we have a very, very much different application of the law when it comes to UAE law versus the UK or US law like I'm familiar with. So let's jump right into it. Who's Brooke George? Well, Brooke George is a influencer. She does TikTok content. That's her primary thing that she does. And what happened? Well, what happened here is Brooke George, 23 years old. She was from Gravesend, Kent in the UK, and she was arrested on June 22nd, 2026 and of course, this is allegedly, because everything at this point is in the investigation phase. It's all allegations. So all of this is allegedly at this point, but the alleged charges are premeditated homicide of her 26-year-old British boyfriend, William Bill Treby. Now, this case, at first, when I saw it, it has a lot of vibes, a lot of things. I thought, okay, is this like the case of Courtney Clenny in the US, something that I've covered and brought up on my channel? So it immediately got my interest saying, okay, let me look into this. But the situation may be quite different and may have a different set of fact patterns than that one. But if convicted, here's the real deal. The ultimate punishment in Dubai includes capital punishment. That's exactly what it sounds like. And legally, the legal standard here, in the Dubai includes the firing squad. So that is very, very, very intense. And that is possible under UAE law. Now, of course, at this point, we don't know what's going to go on. We don't know whether that would actually be something the prosecutors would put on the table or that's something that they would go forward with. But it is technically something that she faces, which is quite serious. Her representation is by this advocacy group Detained in Dubai. You see here, they say providing exemplary legal, diplomatic, and strategic services, and that the ultimate in legal defense with crisis management and innovative solutions. And it seemed like, looking at their website, that they seemed like they had a lot of experience. They served a lot of customers, and it seems like she obtained pretty good representation here through this advocacy group that claims they're the leading international authority on UAE law, providing confidential assistance in both civil and criminal matters. Well, this is definitely criminal. And working discreetly to protect the privacy of their clients. So this is something that these guys, as on the defense team, are really the ones putting out the information right now. So most of the information we have, the allegations, including the background, what's going on, is from the advocacy group Detained in Dubai and also from her family, right? So we have statements from those two groups. We don't have much information or transparency from the UAE prosecutorial side, from the government side in the UAE on this case. So according to those sources, once again, the defense is saying that she met Treby online via Facebook and traveled to Dubai to see him. Now, allegedly, during the second visit that she came over there, he became controlling and abusive. And once again, allegedly, right? These are all allegations. During her second visit, confiscating her passport, buying a one-way ticket only, and of course, assault of, once again, allegedly. And I'll get into the one-way ticket thing. That's something that, as a traveler, there's some reasons why you buy a one-way ticket. Of course, if you want to go somewhere and you don't know how long you're going to want to stay, maybe you might want to stay a week or 2 weeks, or maybe you might want to stay a month or 2 months, right? So there are reasons why you might buy a one-way ticket. But if someone is kind of buying a one-way ticket for you and not buying that ticket back, and that you're in a romantic situation, it can get you in a position where, hey, you feel like you are stuck because you're waiting on that person to give you a ticket out of there to let you go back home. So from her side, in terms of the altercation, she's saying that she acted in self-defense after once again, alleged assault incident, which involved punching, etc., at their apartment following a night out. So it must have been a dramatic and emotional night out. And then she used a kitchen knife in self-defense. Once again, we're looking at fact patterns. When I look at the Courtney Clenny case, I'm saying, oh, well, that's very similar there. But you can't just draw a one-to-one comparison, right? The facts of every case can be different. So while somebody somebody may be more culpable in one case. In another case, it may be quite different. She also said she was repeatedly bruised while attempting to leave the UAE, and says she had mistreatment in custody, such as searches, right? So, the cavity search, right? Or the strip search, right? By male officers. So alleging that as inappropriate, right? So in current status, this case is in investigation phase. So there's no trial, there's no verdict, there's no final resolution reported. We really don't know. And this is something that, from an expat point of view, we would like to see. And I think a lot of people want to see transparency in systems, even though those systems may operate differently. We like to see people giving updates from the government side saying, here's where we officially are at, which we just don't have at this point. We don't have any dates. We don't have any hearing dates. We don't have any of that information at this point. And the other thing is that UAE law differs wildly from the UK or US in terms of evidence, self-defense standards, DV claims, defenses, penalties. All of these things are different. Now, I'm not a Dubai lawyer, but I can say the laws are different, right? The laws are not the same. That's why lawyers are specialized in that specific area. And that's why you have firms, advocacy firms like Detained in Dubai, that specialize in UAE law. And that's why I give a lot of deference to them, looking like they're competent handling this case under UAE law. So as of now, she remains in the Dubai police station in custody. Now, there have been some comments about, is the quality of the custody, right? Is she being kept in something that is up to a certain standard, right? We really don't have a lot of information. We can't see inside of that process right now. And we haven't had any sort of video interview with her, or her interacting directly with media or et cetera, since she's been detained. So right now, in my judgment, I'm going to keep an eye on this case. I'm very interested in this case and how it comes out. Hopefully, UAE prosecutors can provide some evidence or transparency. Maybe this is in the form of video. Maybe this is in the form of witness statements. Maybe this is in the form of actual evidence, right? So maybe they have some sort of crime scene evidence they can disclose that's saying, hey, here's the basis of this. Here's the reasons for us detaining her and us bringing this very, very serious charge. And so we only have information from the defense. I'm going to continue to monitor this. I'm going to continue to watch this case. I think it is very fascinating. I know a lot of other channels have covered this, but I just got my eye on it. And I think it's something that I want to know what's going on as this defense develops, to see what type of self-defense case this is, if it really is a situation that's closer to a DV situation and not premeditated, because that's a very, very serious allegation to say this is a premeditated event. So I want to know what you guys think. Is this an interesting topic to you? Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one.